We're doing chicken stuff. Hey, Karen. How are you? Sorry that I'm late. Well, we're late, but I'm here. But let me tell you why. Because we've raised some of our chickens to be old enough that someone who has a flock with 2 roosters and no hens needs some hens. And I'm sure all of you gentlemen can agree. I won't say the word because if I do, it'll like knock us off monetization. But every rooster needs some hens. What is going? I see Stitching and Clancy and Steph. How are you? Let me see. I'm not quite in here yet, so I can't see all of it. You're going to hear tiny little peeping noises because we literally have some in the incubator that are like 45 minutes old. That's not the ones that are going, but we literally have some that are that young. They're so cute. I did a time-lapsed photo of them coming out of their eggs that I'm going to put on the Kirley Coop channel. And like, it's like I said, time-lapsed. So that was why there was not enough time to do a whole lot with makeup or hair, but that's not why you guys are here anyway. Yeah, can y'all hear them peeping? They're little bitty ones. I'm going to tell Sean, you better not get them out. So Sean is masterminding the great transfer of our 4 laying hens to the person who's getting them. So he's like back and forth, but that's okay. I said, I can do this. I know what I'm doing. Hey, Andy and Moxie. I didn't see you guys all the way. Balls, how are you? Is the, it looks like it might be a little bit pixelated. Hey, Kelly, is it pixelated? Or is it just, it's okay? Like a little pixelated, but it's okay.
Storm is like laying in front of the wire like a drunk.
Storm has used a lot of energy today watching chickens be born. You know what I mean? So you guys, tell me about this, the Eclipse. How many people saw it and loved it? Oh, good, it's clear. How many people could have given a shit less? And how many people are so into it that, they didn't miss a second of it? Were you into it?
Well, they brought us glasses at like 2 o'clock when it was like halfway.
Did they?
Someone brought them in, and all it looked like if the experts had never told us it's an eclipse, it would just look like it was going to rain.
Yeah, I agree. Not so much, I don't really think it's that cool, but I did look through the glasses and went, oh, there's the moon.
I mean,
You guys, listen. You see this thing on Sean?
look at this.
He gets all the way in the camera. I have one of those blackhead suckers that I got from Marshall's or something. So I was like, can I use it on you? And I was like, it's not going to leave a mark. It's not going to do whatever. Y'all, it turned into a total
I'm
like
in the tub.
hickey.
She's been chasing me around for weeks. And finally I'm like, okay, she got me when I was in the tub half asleep, and she starts digging away, popping away. She pushed this thing on there.
Steph says hi.
So after a while, she pulls this, and I was like, well, maybe it isn't a blackhead. And I was like, see?
It was, though.
It was.
When it healed a little bit, I was able to take it. But yes, that's what I did. And he's so sweet. He was
Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're
the
good.
first like 10, 15 minutes of this, I'm going to be jumping up and down because I'm giving some hens to a friend for, and I think I'm going to pretty much be on one maybe when I get back.
I said they have two roosters and not enough hens. And I said, so that means there's too many. And then I was like, I'm not going to say the word because it'll get too many cocks and not enough. So anyways, it is what it is.
I'll be back and forth real quick.
I'll be back and forth. So the devil comet, what is that? Stitching, tell us, what is the devil comet? I remember when Haley's comet came by, I used to have a VHS tape of a TV show that I taped, and at the bottom, the ticker said, I never even knew it was called a ticker until I met Sean, and he talks about the sports ticker, the thing that was on the bottom. And it said that Haley's comet was going by. But which one? I don't know the devil comet. Let me see what, I saw Andy. Let me see what Andy said. Moxie's cooking and listening. It's good to see. So Andy gave us a great big smiley face. So it's the comet that has horns. Should see it soon, like tonight or like soon as in like the next weeks or something. I would definitely like to see a comet that has horns for sure. Let me see. Last time me and hubby went to the Gulf of Mexico, we took big telescope and some beautiful shots of the moon. Yes. Okay, not sure the date. The other thing that's happening in Georgia right now, as it is, I'm sure, many other places, but of course I live here, the cherry blossoms are absolutely beautiful. I've never seen this many bloom before. And with the wind, they're doing like, just you see in like, you know, pastel paintings. They're like under the tree, but they're still full. And when it blows, they kind of do the little whirlwind things. I was like, that is absolutely beautiful. If someone was like getting married this month, I would totally be like, go find the cherry blossoms and take pictures under there. You know what I mean? Absolutely beautiful. And pictures, like when I was taking a picture of it to capture it, it really doesn't do it justice. It's not as beautiful as it is if you're right there looking at it. You know what I mean? But I know some places there's cherry blossoms. Cherry blossoms, y'all, Clancy is a history buff. I think Stitching would know. Yeah, cherry blossoms are best in Japan. What I was going to say is, what is the other type of blossom? There's cherry blossoms, but then there's another one that are a deeper red. Stitching might know. Stitching, did you see Alice Stark was live a little bit earlier? I caught a little bit of her. She was looking beautiful as usual. I can't figure out what direction she's going, if she's trolling all of us or if she really believes everything she said. But I did watch. I'm a bit intrigued. The whole goth bright light thing is kind of very, very interesting to me. My wisteria tree is starting to, oh, pretty. Those smell beautiful, don't they? I remember my grandmother talking about them. She would always talk about the days that the years that they were in good bloom. And I remember that. I like the, remember that word, you guys, I can't say? Hyacinth. Remember hyacinth? Was that it? Someone tell me if I got it right. Hyacinth. I remember we had this whole class one time when we were live in here. And you finally taught me how to say it. Oh, I hear the man getting the hens. Hyacinth. That's what it was. Hyacinth. So anyway, just a really, really pretty time of year right now. And, oh, Karen said I got it. I love to see that this year in particular, some things that I don't see bloom so well, like in past, are now blooming well. They don't stay long. The other thing that has happened is our chickens, because we showed them where the worms are, we would move the stepping stone and dig with the stick and they would get the earthworms. So they've now dug up the entire yard from the paving stones on. They have dug it up because they figured out where they were. So if you ever need somebody to till your yard and you want to save some money, get a flock of about 22 chickens and they will till your yard for you and aerate it. Hyacinth. See, I did it. So they'll take the 4 that they're taking, will leave us with, I don't ever know if it's 21 with the roosters minus 4 or if it's like, if that's total, but that makes me happy because this person, like I said, he's got the roosters, but also they've really, really been researching and getting ready for them. And you guys, it's no joke. If you can get someone to part with a laying hen that's of age that lays in the prime, because they only lay for about, what, 2 years or so. So if you get them in the prime laying time, that's a pretty good deal. People usually sell them, but we don't believe in, like, that's not what we're about. But I guess some people would, if it was a marketable business, you know, you could sell the ones that are old enough. Good to see you, Yoga. It is Friday. What is everybody up to? What is the latest and greatest going on the YouTube streets? Someone let me know. We've been super busy. I haven't been able to see a whole lot. Lots of doctor's appointments and things like that. Not for me, but for the family. So just blessed to be able to help out with that. The other, where was the other? I wrote down this other topic of stuff to talk about if I was in my own solo time. Moxie, tell me what's going on with the did you show some shoes? I heard that like, I saw a thumbnail with it. Did you do like a thumbnail of shoes or something? I call them wellies from England. I don't know what they're called, but did you do like a thumbnail with that? I thought I saw that somewhere floating across the notifications. I have, let me see. Hopefully she'll tell me, because if so, I'd like to know what brand they are and where I might get some of those. Cleaning out my fridge. Do you get them at like Macy's or something? Like the name brand ones? Or can you find them like occasionally at Marshall's and stuff? Because we're having so much rain, I get tired of switching between shoes. Found by Moxie posted an amazing link tonight, found by accident. All right. What was it about? I might need to check that out. Finally things have settled back down. The other thing is I've said this, oh, really, like Gucci rain boots. Yeah, I need to find where I can see some of those, because that's freaking fantastic. The Rumble, you guys, my Rumble app on my phone sucks. No matter how many times I delete it, reinstall it, delete it, reinstall it, it sucks. Am I doing something wrong, or is it just better to do it on the laptop in particular? Because I can't, if I try to type something, they were sneakers. Okay. If I try to type something and send it, I can't tell, it'll like not send, but then the like paper airplane to send it gets all like maxed up, and I can't figure out how to do it. But so I'm assuming the laptop is the best way to do it. You guys check Moxie out. Moxie and Paula are also on Rumble. That's where the fun stuff goes down. YouTube isn't babysitting when you're on Rumble. You can be more risque. Let's see. The Eclipse theories. You know, I have to say, I have a neighbor who I've been listening to who I really think highly of. Very religious, godly woman. And the way she explains things, like how she believes that there are certain things that do absolutely and totally are real, like that Bigfoot is a part of the supernatural, but not like the supernatural within the realm of Christianity. And it was like, she sent me some like YouTube videos to watch, and it's actually really interesting. And I always say, you know, conspiracy theories for me, as long as it's not hurting anyone else, it doesn't really matter what you believe. But there are certain conspiracy theories that for a while were so far-fetched that people laughed at people that believed them. And whether they're true or not, I don't know. But like, remember when they first said that 9/11 was an inside job? Remember? And it doesn't matter what, I mean, I'm not, trying to start an argument, because what you believe is what you believe. But remember in those early days when people would say that, and people would absolutely get enraged at just the thought that someone would say that. And then it kind of took hold, and it splintered off into other theories and other conspiracy theories. It's interesting how that it does that. And I wonder if it does it just because it gets repeated enough, or if enough people believe it that it starts to take hold. Like, I've always wondered that. Especially like with some of those theories that call that into question. You know what I mean? I think, yeah, I haven't seen the Gucci sneakers. I want to see the Gucci sneakers now that I know, now I'm caught up with what y'all were talking about. And where does one get that from, like Nordstrom or something? I would like to know. I don't know a whole lot about Gucci, to be honest. I bought a cocktail dress for this event that I'm going to in a few weeks, and it's obviously a formal event. Sean's got his suit to wear to it. Y'all, we are going to clean up nice. We're going to be dancing. We're going to be mingling. Okay, thank you, Karen. We are going to be taking pictures like the classy people, okay? So look in your newspaper under the, look, I was being all funny and now I can't remember. The society columns, see if we appear there. I don't know if we'll make it into the National Society columns, but we certainly will in Atlanta. And then hopefully they get a good angle, right? No, you know I'm joking. Hey, Lady of Dolls. We are going to something, and it's cool to dress up for it. So I'm excited about that. 24 cherry trees cut down for a new... Ah! And then they ended up not using that parcel of land. Oh, that's horrible. In Washington, D.C., it is illegal to pick or cut cherry blossoms because that's what they're known for, the Cherry Blossom Festival, and they're beautiful. But I had a part-time job when my ex-husband was stationed in Virginia when we lived there. And this, he owned several, not my ex-husband, this guy owned several car lots. So that's where he made his bones. And his daughter wanted cherry blossom flowers for her wedding. She didn't want them fake. She wanted them real. It's very hard to order them. They don't guarantee that they'll get there, and they wilt and fall apart so quickly it's not worth it. So they paid a few of the people that were helping out like something like $5 a branch for everyone they were able to get. And if I can find pictures, I'll post it. It was the most beautiful wedding. They were all fresh, and it started at just the right time because it was an indoor venue, and they started to fall like right during the ceremony. It was so pretty, but I'll never forget that. I was like, I'm not about breaking the law, but I will for $5 a branch. I am on my way. I am a Baroque enlisted wife. Let me get some flowers. Where is let's see. It was a winding sidewalk with so many trees. The blossoms would blow and look like pink snow. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what it looks like today. Even on my street, that's what it looks like. It's so pretty. Even if we like got super dressed up tomorrow, I wonder how many days that they'll stay like that, because I would love, we know a couple of people that are amateur photographers. I would love to get Sean and I's picture made walking through it. Hey, Suzanne, longtime supporter. I just keep changing my name. No problem. We're glad you're here. Name changing is okay. I'm glad that you've stopped by on more than one occasion and that you continue to come back. And also I want y'all to give me credit for the fact that for now I am still going. It's 8:52 and I'm still talking by myself. I might be rambling, but we're having a good conversation. No, I'm just kidding. Can you imagine if I left Sean for 45 minutes? Oh, Sawyer Brown. Sean will tell us how pissed off the chickens were.
Only the black one.
Oh, really?
The barred rock was with the other barred rock. It's like, we're going on the next adventure in our life.
We're gonna, so they're gone?
Yeah. And I got that.
Hey, Lizzie. It's good to see you. Sean's probably looking for a hat. Sean needs a haircut. I want to take him. Hey, PBG. I want to take him to get a haircut tomorrow at the place, like the hot towel place, but he won't let me. He only likes me to do it. So yeah, our 2 barred rocks and then 2 other, I think a Jersey Giant and maybe a sex link went. So our little Silky is a big girl now and went from the baby coop into the big coop. So it's all going according to plan. We are in love with our chickens, okay? We love our chickens. We're crazy about our chickens. But you won't let me get your hair cut. Show everybody how long it is.
Don't worry.
Show everybody how long it is.
Shit, dude. His son was driving, but he was. I thought that.
That's cool. So son was driving. Well, you should have called. I'd love to.
Yeah, they're probably watching. We're gonna drag you, dude.
No, we're not. We're not. But he was. His son was driving.
Yeah, son was driving, and he comes up. He's like, "Can I use the outdoor plumbing?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can just pee right on top of the chicken shit."
He said outdoor plumbing.
Yeah.
I've never heard it called there.
The backstory is, of course, I work at the
Nice.
post office, and I put a post on. If you guys go to my Facebook page, you'll see the last post I had was about the chickens, and the fella that's like, "Hey, same event." No, I'm just kidding. And he was like, I just gave him some chickens. And so the story, his situation is he got 4, 2 were roosters.
And he didn't know that.
So he's got a run. It's a 30-foot by 12 run. It's a big run.
Hey,
but
chicklets.
On one side, he's got his rooster dude, and he's got 2 hens there. But on the other side, it was like 2 roos and 1 hen. And so I said, he took 3.
Oh, good.
He took 3. And he was offering, he says, I owe you like $90. And I was like, nope. You had 20 or $30 for a laying hen. And that's the thing, is that laying hens, when you raise them up, Mandy and I had a hell of a time trying to raise them the first year. But I just like to help out, man. I was like,
Yeah, we're not.
What goes around comes around in the chicken community,
So he responded on your thing. He wasn't from the post office.
Oh, his wife comes in a lot.
Oh, but it's not a coworker.
No.
Gotcha.
So his wife would come in, and
Now I
she saw the chickens, and she has got like a little Etsy shop or whatever, and he was like, my husband's got chickens and this and that, and then he came in with her, and we got to talking, and that was a while ago. So anyway, I friended him, and he saw the chickens and said, "Can you help me out? Can you help a brother out?" And I was like, "I can help a brother out."
That's very cool.
Yay.
Nordstrom, the Hunter birds. Now I do know the Hunter brand. The Hunter brand rain boots. They are very classy, very cool. You don't know about that.
I don't know anything about that.
You don't know anything about that. I was telling them about the event that we're dressing up for at the end of the month.
Why she's got those eyes tonight, guys.
No, but but you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The event.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted.
Did you show them the dress?
I'm not gonna show them the dress.
You guys want to see the dress? No, you don't want to see the dress?
I was trolling a little bit, so I was like, y'all can look in the society columns after that event in Atlanta. It might not make it national, but definitely the society columns in Atlanta.
I think TMZ is going to be there. They said, we want to know.
You know what?
We want to see the famous Mrs. ATX. We hear she is a biatch.
And I'll be like, but Meghan Markle's here, and like, don't nobody care about that.
Nobody care about that.
Nobody likes Meghan Markle anymore. Y'all pipe up if there's anyone in there that likes Meghan Markle. Nobody likes Meghan Markle. And just like with most relationships with narcissists, the only thing that he has to do to regain his whatever.
Redeem myself.
Dump her. That's all Harry has to do.
Prince Harry, I'm telling you.
That's all you have to do
Harry,
is dump her.
If you're around, lean in.
Hey, Angel Eyes.
So Meghan Markle has got you ostracized from your entire family, and you're a royal. You're a royal. And she said, you don't need your family. You don't need any of that.
And he said, but I kind of do.
And so he's got himself in quite a pickle, but really all he'll need to do is say, hit the road.
It says, hey, y'all, happy to see Sean alive. Big T caught him confused with OJ passing today. She is such an idiot, Sasquatch. I wondered if she wouldn't double down on
Did
OJ
she do
dying.
that?
Like, I don't have any. I didn't want people.
Yeah,
like,
of course she did.
I know exactly. It's like, dude. You don't apply to everything, right?
Your silly ass can't even show up for a court date that you were the plaintiff in. Good Lord. Take several seats.
You silly.
You silly goose.
You silly, stupid skank.
You silly goose.
Filing some shit and then not showing up for it. Well, it's because she grifted for the legal funds and then went and got Botox and couldn't finish paying.
That was the one thing about that. We're not going to spend much time on that because we're not.
Gucci.com.
But the people that are mad about whatever they're mad about, there are court things that go on. For every one that we see here, there's 4 of them going on behind the scenes in the drama community.
Thank you.
People are mad for whatever. People that don't like one side, people that don't like the other side, and they're all mad and they're just that. What you should be mad for is that somebody grifted money for a lawsuit, and then y'all gave the money and they
got bad Botox.
They got bad Botox, maybe retained a lawyer for the minimum, and then didn't do anything else and didn't show up. That's what you should be mad for. Drama is going to be drama.
Yeah.
Drama is going to be drama.
I mean, how do you not show? It's almost as bad as an actual bona fide attorney losing their own case against someone who's pro se.
Right. That happened too.
Anyway, it's not over, you guys. She's gonna roll out of bed and file some shit again. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of time. It is not within her a capability to not start shit with the legal system. It feeds her in some crazy ass way when nobody else will give her supply. That's why she's back at the gym.
The best thing to do in this situation, and there's the people that were, when you win in court or you are done with court, the best thing that you can do is just not say anything, especially when a narcissist is involved, because trust and believe. And I think that there's a few people that mentioned it today. Whatever is going on right now is to get people's attention again.
Yeah.
That's all it's for.
Which is why she had to go back to the gym, because in her home, broken down gym, she's not getting any supply.
There's no...
So she needs people with eyes on her.
Right.
So she had to go back to the gym.
She knows at the end of the day that the all the stuff about the legal system, the people's in the courts, they don't want to deal with her.
Right.
People are like, oh, they want to get her. They don't.
Clancy.
They don't want. It's like when people are like, Sean, why don't you sue her, or why don't you do whatever? It's because two reasons. Number one, she'd cream herself over that for that attention. And number two, everybody in Onslow County is like, we don't want to fucking deal with it. Just stay away. You got away with your life. You're doing great. You're living your best life.
And you have to prove that he's lost some sort of income or status. He's done better.
Let's talk about the slander thing,
I know.
because there's a couple other people that are talking about slander. No one wins a slander case in the drama community. They don't win. There's a chance that people could settle. We've seen a situation where somebody settled with somebody else and said, here, look, here's some money. I got like, there's somebody in the community that's like, I got a lot of money. I'm going to give you a few bills out of my fucking wallet and shut the fuck up. That's happened.
3-piece and a biscuit.
A 3-piece and a biscuit. That's happened. But we've never seen anybody say, I'm suing you for slander, because here's why. None of us in the drama community, nobody, I'll throw the names out there that are in legal situations. Hussey, AK, ATX Tomahawk, Sam Telfer, frickin'
In current or just
no,
period?
just I'm just saying the community that has been in stuff before.
Right.
You have to say, you have to go to the attorney, you have to show the courts that you lost income, you lost reputation. Nobody on here that's happened to. There's nobody that says, oh my God, Telfer's over there calling ATX a freaking lion hoe, and because of that, she can't eat. Because she's saying that. I can obviously eat. Yeah, it's not like, Tomahawk's over there calling Negs a freaking whatever, and because of that, Negs' reputation is worse.
I thought so, Moxie. Go ahead.
That's you see what I'm saying? It's when I sit here and talk about whoever I'm talking about, their life is not going to be damaged because of what I said, unless in their head. Using your First Amendment speech doesn't mean that you're ripping someone else's bank account and wrecking it. And that's what slander is. Slander is when you defame somebody to the point that they've lost their reputation. Like if you were denied a job because of something that somebody said, you could use that. If you've lost income, if I had 10,000 subscribers and 2,000 of them decided, God, we believe what this person said, and I was losing cash, that could be used. But that doesn't apply to any of us.
No.
It really doesn't. Does it?
No.
I don't think it does.
I don't think it does either.
So,
Moxie, I do that all the time. She said she was like 15 minutes behind in the stream, so she was answering. You can always tell when someone might be behind, they're answering weird things. Clancy, I also want to give you credit for, you have come so far with, like, he's now downright witty and like
you are a valuable character, Clancy.
He is like, what did he say that I was like, Clancy's? It says he says something about I'm a dive bar type, which is hilarious. Me too. I was a dive bar. And then
chicklets.
She couldn't even show up to her own court date, but she wants to talk about everyone else. Sit your stupid ass down. That was Clancy.
Stitching said Johnny Depp was slandered by Amber. Yes, that is a slander case.
He lost.
And you think he was no longer Jack Sparrow because of what she said. I was a huge Johnny Depp fan, and I've been through the ringer. You guys know what I've been through. And I sat there and went, Johnny, no, I thought you were a cool guy. And then I saw the court case and I went, that hoe is a narcissist. Amber Heard, I was like, I know that.
That was where the whole, and it took me forever to figure out where it came from. I watched some of the, but my dog got stung by a bee. Isn't that, and then it like went viral on TikTok. Yeah, Chicklets, I think that I couldn't have swooped in like quite like people. They give me credit for being like some sort of siren.
Right. But they still like Chicklets, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And then like I went, oh, I choose this one. And then I swooped in. I wish I had that kind of power. So I just fell in love.
For Chicklets, weren't you already ready to end it? I think at that particular situation, and today is the 12th. So Monday will be... Thank you, Chicklets. Thanks so much. Chicklets.
We are going to get chicken treats.
It is the guy that I gave the chickens to left that nesting box.
Oh, okay.
It's like a $45 box, but he was out there. He was saying that I owe you money for the hens. Well, nah. No. I'm happy to help. But anyway, getting back to the what was I talking about? Chicklets was said.
Weren't you?
Weren't you ready to leave? I think the 16th is Monday, Tuesday. Tax day is Monday.
Yeah, we got to file our taxes, y'all.
I work at the post office for a little longer. I'll
We did it. I just got the email today saying that we filed our taxes on this day last year, and I was like, and we will today. We'll do it before the 15th. Don't worry. There are a couple of things that make Sean and I just chill to the bone, crazy with anxiety. Taxes are one of them. Yeah. Not because of any reason other than just the fear that you're going to owe. And we did owe last year. We did owe, and we paid it. It
was odd because, well, let me answer Chicklets first, because she said, weren't you ready to end it with her? It's not like you were perfectly happy and Mandy swooped in and stole you, right? Actually, the best narrative that people could have said, even though it's not true, is I swooped in and wrecked her home. It doesn't have quite the same ring.
And if y'all knew how totally cool the whole situation was with that whole side, us, them, the kid, everything, it would deflate their people's theory that somehow he broke up this happy little, which nobody says. They want to say that I broke it up.
Because it's a double standard, and they can say if the girl can be a homewrecker. The guy can be a homewrecker. I guess.
There's lots of guys that are
they're
homewreckers. Unfortunately,
Mandy, there's like there's 30 members of Mandy's family. There's like 2 of them maybe in their family. Her ex-husband being one of them. That is like, yeah, that kind of sucked what he did. The rest of Mandy's family is happy that I came into Mandy's life, and that's not
very
to just
happy.
So. But anyway, was I ready to end it? I think I was in a position where I was a little bit resigned to, when you are sitting in a situation, how many of you can look at your situation and say, I can grow old right now with the person I'm with. I can grow old and I could be happily and blissfully continue on the path that I'm on. I can say that now. I can grow old with this woman. She's a lot younger than me. But
not a lot.
So as I was sitting there, Chicklets, it was like I would sit wherever in the apartment or in my place, going, "Fuck, man." I just didn't see.
You were like, "This is going to be a long."
I'm
rest
like,
of my life.
I think the biggest thing in hindsight when I look back at how much of a shithead people around society by proxy that I was, because I was with this shithead, this crazy psycho, and I was the only thing standing between her and jail, right?
Yeah.
I was the only thing that was paying her attorney, and the only thing that was keeping her, paying her bills, keeping her from evicted, the only thing that was keeping her in school, the only thing that was keeping her
medicated.
It was everything, and they were like, dude, you are a piece of shit for perpetuating all of this. And you can't really see that till you get out. And all of those same people are like, holy shit, we're so happy that you got out of that and we can start to start some type of process of ostracizing the person for who she is.
And right.
Does that make sense?
Okay, that's so funny that you said that. It's like, but you destroyed her school books. Her school books were electronic.
Even if I did, I bought them. I mean, I'm not trying to say that to be an asshole.
Did she destroy her books? Pissed off?
No, that's just what she said. I did.
I didn't. Like, he'll tell you if he did.
Remember when she went to the dream space? She said I pissed all over everything.
And then she said it was because you're in a PTSD blackout. When she had to back out of it, she goes, oh no, Lily did it. And then she goes, oh no, he peed on my clothes because he was in a PTSD blackout. And Sean was like, no, I wasn't.
No, I wasn't. Amber Heard. It's like it. So that's kind of it, Chickless. It was like, was I ready? When I got out of there, and it was almost like these police officers were like stonewalling me. It's like, whatever you do, don't fucking walk around us and don't go back there. Get in your car and drive. And, I sat out there for a couple of days and they would check on me. Are you good? Yeah. You going back there? No. Okay. Those are good answers. Those are good answers. And, I'd go to work and then I'd get back to my car and I'd be in my car. I'd go to Camp Lejeune, take a shower, and I'd see somebody. Hey, Sean, how you doing? I'm good. You going back? No. Good answers. Are you going to drive away? Yeah. And I finally did.
Moxie, she's like, she is such a trashy person. It's clear that you were her only hope. And once you got yourself out, she's been a flip on her own shit pool. You know what? You ain't wrong. Total white trash.
Okay, that's it.
And I don't mean to insult white trash because I have a long line of white trash, but she is the epitome of just from the floor up, from day one, just trash. Her decisions are trash. Mm-hmm. Her everything is trash.
This is the thing that
I know, right?
This is where we're at with her right now. She isn't 30 anymore. And she's not going to be able to,
Karen,
swoop down and dupe a service member, that's, just been left or whatever. She can't do that anymore.
She said that she drove for a date the other day. This kind of makes me laugh. And she was like, and he was nice. We didn't have sex. He put a blanket around me. And she was like, and the lady, she goes, and he held me while I cried.
That's not what you do on a first date.
That's not fucking normal.
Did you realize that if
a lot of you let your husbands hold, did your significant other that you ended up with, did you let him hold you?
The very first time you went out, did they?
Most guys are like,
yeah. Do you know who didn't do that the first time? Sean. But it's like I told you the very first date that we went on, the dude that she was the jail pen pal with.
Yeah. I think she still gets some supply on the old, on the inside.
But that's the thing. You don't go out on a first date. Like here I am.
Yes.
I'm a 55-year-old retired veteran and I'm single, let's say. And I go out on a date with some 45-year-old, and that's how they advertise. And the first time I look at him, well, she said she's 45, but she looks like she's 62 with 2 different sized boobs. That'd be the first thing. But as you're sitting there eating dinner or whatever, and all of a sudden they just start crying, I'd be like, you know what?
You are a fucking nut
You are a whole fucking goddamn mess, and I am too old for this shit. And because most people that are my age have at least has had one of those.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sometime in their life,
they've seen crazy.
They've been burned either all the way or part way.
Okay.
And,
I'll look at it. Sabo said, wait, there's not a retired 07 looking for Big T to complete his life.
Didn't work for Dave Petraeus either. You remember, David Petraeus, 4-star general.
I was like, why were you David Petraeus? You had everything. You had your whole career. And you're sexting on was it his official email, right? That's how they saw it.
The point is
like
that,
his actual encrypted email.
But he pissed somebody off.
I guess so.
When you're the CIA director and you were the 4-star general, you don't get in trouble for screwing some Spec 4 or something like that.
Right.
It just doesn't happen. You are a protected man.
Was she a specialist?
I don't know. But I heard it was a low ranking,
like an equivalent,
or maybe a lieutenant.
He was her dad's age.
Something like that. And so when something like that happens to like a 4-star general, it's because he pissed somebody off politically. And they said,
and that's what you were saying about P. Diddy too.
P. Diddy, same way. He
must have pissed somebody off.
He pissed somebody off because if you guys been keeping up with this P. Diddy stuff, they're all throwing him under the bus. Jay-Z, all these cats are saying, that motherfucker was a piece of
and his son was
a criminal.
His son was too.
And they were saying the whole time, people are coming out of the woodwork going, he He's a
Wow.
criminal. And the big thing, if you sit back and you look at something like
Moxie.
what happened to Diddy, it gave a lot of momentum to what a lot of people, how many people have lost their lives. You know, the list is there. Chris Cornell, you know, celebrities that have lost their lives under dubious circumstances because,
Sawyer.
and they were about to,
He's
and they were
right
about to out some type of crap.
No.
And then all of a sudden, a billionaire like P. Diddy is.
So that's what it is. You made someone mad.
Yeah, P. Diddy made
And
somebody.
they even gave him a heads up so he could get the hell out of Dodge, right?
Somebody else in the Illuminati
Hey,
stratosphere, they said, no. P. Diddy said, I'm stronger than you. And this other person was like, let me show you how this shit works. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's unconscionable.
Gigi says, but she announced today she was in love. See, I have heard tale of that. Go get him, T. Go get him.
Mm-hmm.
Fall in love.
Don't cry. Don't cry.
Have him marry you.
Don't cry. Don't bring the pit bulls. Don't bring any of that. Don't
Yeah.
bring them to your place. And just keep it together and ride off into the sunset and stop. And you know what, dude, whoever you are, I'm sorry, but you're at phase C right now.
And it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
Clint has coasted safely into, still
Yes.
not done.
Yes.
You're never done. Then it breaks into like you're to level TA, TB. I mean, you never are fully.
Or like level T 5.06.
Yeah.
It's just like DSMR. I mean, it was pretty. I mean, me running into you in the drama community, that was some shit. A lot of people will say whether they like us or hate us, it was some shit.
It was crazy how we found each other.
Old Clint got away with some freaking pole dancing nurse with a banging bod.
Hell yeah.
That was another thing. So she's taken a couple of shots to the dome.
So nobody ever comes out a winner in that relationship. Hold on. Well, in the relationship with her, not the other. They're head over heels. So I keep seeing motorcycle here. Is this a motorcycle gentleman that that is now the love of her life? Is it a
He said he's an important person in the motorcycle world. I think, okay.
Oh, so, okay. Well, also Panda's baby daddy is also high in the motorcycle gang world. So maybe they can hang out.
She said he's a member of Sam Crow, which is the motorcycle gang of
And here's
Sons
the
of
reason
Anarchy.
that's not fucking true. Because he would be like, if she was disclosing who he was a member of, he'd be fucking insane. You don't disclose that. Do you see what I'm saying?
And if she cried on the first date, he wouldn't hang out.
No, but I mean, like your bitch is saying live for everyone, and they're like.
But even before that, I mean, he could come and say, "Look," but I'm
Hey,
pretty sure that if this dude was sitting there and she was like, "Oh my God," and then this guy did this, and every person that I've ever known is blah 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 blah, they'd be like,
insane. I mean, okay, so that he's Sons of Anarchy, which I just thought that was a TV show. I didn't even know that was an actual thing.
it is a TV show. That's the whole point.
But is it based on a real?
No.
Oh,
That's what's so funny about it.
So it's a myth. Okay,
Right, yes.
okay.
Yes.
Well, now I'm a little bit slow on the draw sometimes. She just wanted to talk about the vibrations.
Can you imagine that behemoth on the back of a bike? Kay, you win the internet. You win the chat.
Like leader of a biker gang. Yeah, that's just I've watched these true life the first 48 and shit like that. And when I don't mean to say bitches because that's wrong, but that's what they are, and they go disclose to everybody, my man's gonna beat you up because he's in They beat the shit out of the girl, don't they?
Well, I don't know if they do that, but I mean I'm pretty sure they wouldn't do that. I'm pretty sure.
So she was saying she wanted to talk about the vibrations that when sitting on the back of it.
A girl feels on the back of a motorcycle.
And then she said she could get almost the same thing if she used her washing machine if she used it.
But just for the first thing, she wanted to talk about the vibrations a girl feels when riding the back of a motorcycle. That's like something that a 15-year-old would say.
I know. What TV show was it where the lady was like, I sit on my dryer sometimes when it's on spin cycle or something? It was a movie. It was a movie, and
Someone will know.
Someone will know. That's so. She just wants to be sexual. I hope he's a member of a motorcycle gang. They would know what to do with her. Well, she'll start problems saying that every single one of them want her. If you want to watch a good show, I recommend checking out The Fall Outtakes. Placed 200 years after the Chinese dropped a nuclear bomb on the United States. All right, that's deep.
No, really, that would be that. I'd watch that.
I attend a motorcycle rally every year, and a few stars from Sands of Arky are there. I'll have to ask them. They probably are related to Karen. At least one of them are.
I thought Fallout was like a video game.
I'm so confused. Fallout is a video game, but I don't know. Oh, Fallout is not, I want to say mythical, but is a fictitious story of a nuclear weapon hitting the United States. I think is what they're saying.
But they've turned it into a video game. There's a lot of things that they have. There's a lot of shows that have turned into like video games, and there's a few video games that have turned into shows too as well. Like The Walking Dead. That became a video game. There
was a while that she was always making the claim all Sean did was play video games. Sean plays exactly one video game. It's
and baseball, I haven't this year so far.
So that's what cracks me up. I'm like,
you forgot. Let me rephrase that. All Sean did was fish, play video games, and smoke weed.
A lot of weed, apparently. A lot of weed.
I mean, let me show you.
So you would wake up in the morning and you'd hear that voice and go, "Well, time to."
I mean, and I will admit that
which is kind of sexy.
The YouTube years, I was pretty rough looking. You saw my VA. You seen my VA
There's
ID.
a picture. There is a picture of Sean in 2015. He's sitting at his parents' kitchen table, and he looks like a defeated, beat down. Like you were there visiting, right?
Yeah. Not yet. Not in 2000. Not yet. It would still be 4 more years.
It was when you were separate. Yeah, you were done. But you look the picture. You're sitting there like one of the few times that you had been.
I mean, everything about
Let me see.
What I did, and there's people. If there's anybody that is like in my Facebook that are Facebook friends of mine that that are here.
Hi, Presley.
Before we were on YouTube, and there's a few. There's not many, but there's a couple people that I knew that have come on to because of Facebook. And when I got into that relationship in Rhode Island, they were like, "Oh no, Sean, we're gonna have to watch this dumpster fire." And they would. So they watched me, and they would tell me on your Facebook, you went from Sean on Facebook. I got on Facebook at like 2008. So by the end of 2009, I was in I was in the relationship, and I went from like just that other Facebook profile that I was just like trying to just.
Did you even control that Facebook profile?
I can't even get into it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't take it down.
Was it a Sean and Trisha name or no?
Was
it at one time?
No.
You guys know what I'm talking about. No offense, but you guys know when someone's getting a little upset.
It's like Bob and Tammy Jones, and it's like
you've got a friend
who fucked up, Bob or Tammy?
Yeah, because they have their own things, and then all of a sudden they'll put Bob and Tammy Jones, and they'll be dropping memes of together forever in love, and you're like. Oh, come on. One of you. Y'all are on the solo name title.
Right.
You're on one of you.
I mean, there's some trusted. And that's not everybody. Like, I know there's some older people.
There's some people that do that.
That do that.
But it's like when they're separate people, but then all the time, this is our new account. Go ahead and add it.
Because when they used to have separate accounts. And it's like, why can't.
Right, Knuckly, absolutely.
Why can't Tom have his own account? Because he's on some fuck shit in his own account. And Tammy found out.
It's like the people that came back were like hiding behind the bushes, and they like peek and they're like, "Can we come out, Sean?" And he's like, "You can add me. You can come out. You can unblock me, and you can add me."
I mean,
Sean blocked me on Twitter.
But I didn't. I don't think I did.
You were like, "Add me on Twitter." It was when we were talking about Gerald Jackson. You were like, "Add me on Twitter," and I'm like, dude, you got me blocked. Not only do you have me blocked on the other one, that account you don't even use has me blocked. That Bravado Hawk or whatever it was.
Oh, Bravo Bird Hawk.
And I was like, why'd you block me?
I used that Twitter, and everyone thought that was me. And it's just, it
I
was
was like,
kind of
why'd
like,
you block
it was
me?
a ghost account. Have you guys ever had like, or known
The
somebody
only
that
thing
has a
it used
ghost account that everyone would go
the
to so
only
they
thing it
can't?
used to post when it was finally unblocked, every day it would post, has gained 2 new followers.
Because I
It was an
didn't do it.
auto. It was an auto
And every once in a
thing.
while, somebody would DM it like, "You fucking jackass," blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, "Oh, I got to check this more than once every 4 months."
You got the hiccups, Presley. I hate having the hiccups. I feel for you. What was the real deal with Gerald Jackson? It seems strange.
Okay, so
That's
a very good question. Gerald Jackson is an equally, I don't really want to go in on the guy because he's left the drama community completely alone, went to jail, and he's out there.
But Onslow hates him too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So for a while there was this triangle because you have Gerald Jackson he's some kind of pathology going on for sure. He thought he was going to come into the drama community and take it over, and he
And to be fair, who kicked his ass and sent him whacking was Telfer.
Telfer did.
Telfer whooped that ass and sent him on his way.
She did. Got to give credit.
Really did.
Got to give credit where credit is due. She did. But if you look up, type in like it might be the NC beat, North Carolina beat, or just type in Gerald Jackson.
Bye, Moxie. Have a good night.
He's off. He's got a channel somewhere where he's got like 20,000 subs.
He found God, and that's cool.
So he's a religious grifter now.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm.
I probably religious grifter. Do we know anybody else like that finds Jesus and changes their title to make? He's doing well. He is.
Tatted T did that. Remember, he did that
Onslow,
too.
but Onslow equally hates him. So when they got together,
when they were streaming together, they were like, "Holy shit!" And then it was wrapped around the car repair guy that's a registered sex offender. There, and remember, all 3 of them were all together in this thing. So you got the person that she smacked in court, who's another. So you had 3. And to be fair, TT was not on their level yet. She was an up and coming psycho.
Oh, will that get rid of it? Okay, go ahead.
She was an up and coming psycho.
She's really come into her own.
She has
really,
her own. She's a niche herself, as Onslow County is probably on the female list of psychos.
Well, like you said, she is the crazy beach lady.
She is.
The crazy beach lady.
She's the crazy beach lady.
You know who the crazy beach lady is.
And then you go, wow, look at the crazy beach lady. Yeah, she's about 65. Dude, she's only like 45. No way. She's like, yeah, her veneers are falling out.
And the other thing, TT, please quit doing your own hair. Please. Yeah. Sean probably doesn't really have an opinion of it. To take your hair that blonde, you cannot do it with a box. Take some of your money that you get from people. Well,
the next person that you sue, when you roll out of bed and decide that somebody needs to be,
So she. The thing about I've noticed is service providers, nail technicians, hair. She doesn't want to give them her money.
The thing is,
but do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, the people that make their living providing a service.
She does not believe that they should have her money.
Right.
So it's one thing if she's buying shitty toasters and shit like that. But as far as the service industry goes, the service industry goes, she does not want to give them her money to do something that she thinks she can do herself. But
when she does, then she goes ahead and does, and then
fucks it up.
And I'm telling you, man, you walk into the wrong hair salon or the wrong nail place, and then try to walk out, they will.
Exactly. She did. Do you remember when she got her hair done and she went the next day and demanded her money back, and they said, "Well, let us fix it." This has been. I think it was about the time she was entertaining Takedown Man. Remember when she was back when she was pretending that, she was cordial with him because she wanted him to say some things. And she went back and asked for her money back. And they said, no, they did what every hairdresser says. What is wrong with it? I'll fix it. No, I want my money back. And they wouldn't do it. So she went online and trashed their salon. Well, she went on a list. And that's not a very big area.
Yeah.
There's not a place she can go to get her hair done anymore. She'd have to drive off somewhere else.
And I'm telling you, there are people that are in this community that do the stuff that we do online.
Karen,
and they will come on here and they will talk to their audience and they will go after other people who they think are frauds. They'll go after all kinds of people. That's what you do in a drama community. You find somebody or something or some event, or whatever it is, and you
Come here, sir.
you pull out the drama, and it doesn't matter if it just we're talking about each other, we're talking about something else. It's the same genre.
Yeah.
A lot of those people, and you would never guess that in their own town. I mean, they have to reach out and do their shit because in their town, a lot of people are in little towns. They are that person.
Yeah.
So even though they could get 80, 100, 300 people in their chat maligning somebody else, in their town, they're the person that does that to other people and they're known. And so beyond YouTube, and she is that.
Karen.
She is that person. So even though she's people that go on Yelp and they leave, that they say, oh, she's that person.
Yeah.
And people know that.
And then now what they don't know anymore, they don't know that she's got a husband at home that's a decent fucking dude because he's gone.
Does?
I'm saying you see, they were like, everybody's like,
I mean, I don't have to fight that anymore. I don't have to be, have a bunch of family members that are, sad. I mean, or they have to get on with their lives and they have to create memories without me because of what I've chose to do.
You certainly couldn't be proud to show off your wife in that situation.
But what I mean is not only that, is like you met my whole family. You met everybody. Yeah. They had to get on with their lives. The first 35 years of my life, I was their nephews. I was their, their cousins. I was their brother. I was this and that in the family. They had to let me go for 10 fucking years. Well, they gave it a chance for about 3 before they were like, we can't. Yeah. So there was about 6 or 7 years that I was that guy and I was, you're right. Mandy's like, I was the one that was people watched me on YouTube and they were like, this fucking guy, they were like,
well, the first time I saw him, I was like, how in the fuck is she married to him? I mean, I did think he was extremely good looking, but that wasn't the point. The biggest point was like that he's well spoken. He appears to actually be an officer. I thought she was full of shit. Yeah. And I thought she was throwing it out there because she really didn't know the difference. Like, because I thought y'all got together after you had already retired or whatever, and she didn't know the difference. And I was like, he can put sentences together. He's well spoken. Something doesn't make any sense. Something's not adding up. How did he end up with her?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
that all revealed itself. I'm trying to see, curious to who will pay for actual money for her possessions at her yard sale, the hot tub, the trampoline, the rice cooker, the freezer full of steak, etc. Yeah, someone said, I also heard her say that Planet Fitness is free. Hey, AC, someone said, I'm trying to, Clancy, hilarious. Karen, when I saw that hair color, I was like, are you trying to become Slim Shady from 2001? Because that's how blonde her hair was. There was someone, anyway, there was one other thing that she posted why did she post her bank account balances or lack there? I had no idea she did that. That's fucking tacky, man.
But what she wants, guys, I'm telling you.
Although I don't know,
she wants people to latch onto that. And even though it's really easy if somebody posts their bank information, they post that and you take it and then you can argue, well, it's public. It's public knowledge because you posted it. But there'll be people that she will convince, she'll exploit what people say about her, this and that, and she will convince enough people that she is being attacked, that she is being stalked.
Yeah.
So when she puts out stuff like bank accounts, like addresses, like going into gyms and stuff, she's actually inviting the attention. She wants somebody to call so that she can say, this is what they do to me.
Right.
And she only needs a handful of people to do that.
That's what I'm saying. When she starts announcing where she is.
Yes. It's so obvious, guys, that you just have to be like.
She's compiling a dossier of stuff that she feels is like.
And then she'll get enough to where.
I know, Red Reindeer. She wants a stalker. You're not wrong.
You're not wrong about that.
You're not wrong. But the stalker, in fact, turns and runs, and it's like, no, keep stalking me. And like, no, I'm gonna go follow.
Please, you're not supposed to like that. I'm stalking you. Just keep stalking me, fucking weirdo.
The foul smell on the cowgirl exercise machine. I don't understand. Yeah, it's crazy. And since like our YouTube channel, the drama community, we can talk about whatever we want, anything that we find fascinating and newsworthy. But there's 24 other hours in the day that we don't talk about it. So people who want to say that's all we talk about.
I mean, when was the last time we were live? A week ago?
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah,
what is it? Yeah, it is free. You're right.
Like Letitia.
It's called Silver. Well, it's Silver Sneakers if you're on Medicare.
Disability is free.
Yeah, you get it for free if you're, which is fine. But she said, who was it that one of you told me that she said something about she's on the platinum plan, so she gets to use the spa or something like that. One of you texted me that and told me that. I didn't know there was a platinum plan.
But Letitia, the legend, has been mentioned.
And she hadn't shown her face. She didn't want to go back to jail.
Then that's the other thing. People, it's fun to watch train wrecks. Then Letitia came along, and it's like, okay.
And you want to talk? She's like, I'm younger, crazier, and my boobs are real.
And she would. That's something she would say.
She rolled in it. She would actually say while she was live, she'd be like, y'all are gonna pay me for being crazy, and everybody was like, "We sure are." And she was like, "All right."
Didn't TT's Classic go to Letitia? It was like, "Oh, this one's even crazier." Oh my god!
And then when she fell off, they fell out, and then then Letitia fell out, and then poor Classic had to go back over.
That was a dude that all through the time I never had a problem with him, and I still really don't.
Listen to this. No self-respecting stalker would want to pursue her.
But that dude. I mean, so if you look at Letitia's, what do you call it? Her short, but her absolute dominance of the she was it.
She got it.
She was like that heavyweight fighter that shows up for about 2 fights and then bows out because they have legal problems or whatever.
Jenny.
We watched Letitia with like 200 subs, and she got to like 20,000 before.
I mean, look, she's even still there. Her channel is still there. Let me see how many she has. She became a legend like
quickly.
Yeah. She had no idea too they were going to take that baby. Like, she did not think that they were going to take it. Apparently she had already agreed to it before. But that was when the social system, social services system really came through, because people were like, this woman is saying that she is going to do something, please. And they were watching her. And sure enough,
she was one of those people that was.
She's got 9.1 thousand subscribers. She topped 10,000. So she's lost some. Yeah.
But I don't think that there was anyone and that's what I was talking about. Oh my God. Who did that?
It was just their own picture. Do y'all remember? Hold on. That was, for those of you who had never seen her, that was her right there.
But see, that's the going viral thing. When you're going to be a nut job, I mean, there are people, and there's been several things that have been what people wanted to watch, then, and in a couple of years, it'll be something different. She was it. So if you watch drama, and it wasn't just like our community or boy or all that. There were so many different drama communities that were like this one.
And the one thing that Randy has said that I absolutely agree with, and she was talking about Trisha, but it's been anybody, when you're watching someone crazy who's new on the scene, you call it whatever you want. You get up in the morning, you start your coffee, you tune in to see what they're up to, and then you watch. So when people say, ATX has been obsessed with, whoever for however long, there was a time when everyone was watching.
And Randy didn't know that she threw a wrench in everybody's philosophy. Because when Mandi and I, she
said it at the same time. She said it before I even said it.
That's true. But there was a time, like when we were in Texas, when people were starting to come after Mandi and I, saying, no, Mandi was obsessed, and we were like, everybody was, and they're like, no, everybody wasn't. And then Randy was the other OG that was like, oh yeah, I woke up and checked to see what Trisha was doing, and it kind of put all that to rest, because then all the other OGs had to be like, yeah, I mean, there was a second, and the
one thing that we can say, I always type that. The one thing that I can say is, for some of these people, especially Leticia, the things that she was saying about, hey, Mama Ricky, the things that she was saying about the father of her baby and all these different people were probably not true. But someone did hurt Leticia at some point.
For sure.
Some point.
She wasn't born with whatever. was whatever her
Whatever,
diagnosis
yeah.
is, and that is, I mean, so there is a certain part that's like, yeah, but that's not. I don't know. At some point, you have to say these people have free will and they come and do this. But you're absolutely right. When someone got, and that's why Classic came up, when someone got in Letitia's ear and said, "You can get paid for this."
Because Classic, I don't think that it was by chance that after you started coming into her chat and started recognizing her, that she started doing her streams just covering up right here. That was strategically timed for that. I think that you got into her head and got into her ear, like you do with everybody.
You say, I've been riding with this other crazy one, but her boobs are expired. Yours are
They're younger and crazier.
They got some youth
but younger
about
and crazier.
them. Yeah,
and that's kind of what Leticia was like. I'm younger and I'm crazy.
But you're right. I mean, that the gym one. Someone said that gym episode. Isn't that the one where the cops were like went in there and she was filming the whole time, and they were like,
she was always in the gym, but
this is when she was like,
she wouldn't get off the toilet.
That's right.
And the
they
female
finally said,
thing
"We're
was hanging
coming
up. She goes, I'm coming. She goes, no, you're not. And the girl was like, we are. Put something on. And they had covered their bases because they knew what she was going to do.
Yeah, they knew that she was going to film
what
it.
she was going to do. And you know who was jealous of her? Old Beast was jealous of her.
That's the whole point.
Beast would be like,
when you have somebody that
she was pulling in better numbers,
making her living off of being, a lunatic.
Have a good night, Diamond.
Someone else comes over and is a better lunatic. It's kind of like the music scene, you got someone who's and then someone else is eventually going to come along.
Same Red Reindeer, same reason. It's a mental health disability type. Leticia had
Gigi said it. She just said it.
Leticia, she had some moves too. I'm not saying that she was the best dancer ever, but she honed it in and she learned.
And who was the guy that just went by initials?
JW. It was the baby's daddy.
And it ended up being his kid, wasn't it? Yeah. And didn't he end up getting custody or something?
I don't know that. Al might know. For real, Al might know. She had convinced herself, and she thought that this was completely rationally true, that because he decided after they had sex that he did not want to be her girlfriend or be with her, that he had SA'd her. And in her mind, she absolutely could not understand why the report that she filed accusing him of that was going to get her into trouble. Right. She said, well, I would have never done it if I knew he didn't want to be with me. And she was saying that in itself is this. And they're going, you're really going to fight. Let me just tell you, you can't.
They were like, so, but you're saying it wasn't. I'm saying it was. And then she'd be like, well, I had consensual.
The baby was adopted to the foster parents. That's good.
Beautiful
baby.
Would
that
be
was
like,
a beautiful baby.
Yes.
Remember? Healthy. What?
Everybody can have babies, but us.
We can. It just has to be in a petri dish, which is okay.
Yeah. But
it's okay.
As long as it's me and you.
Oh, JW turned out not to be the father?
Oh, okay. I thought there was something. Because JW said all along, he said, hey, if that ends up being my kid,
But he had a vasectomy.
That's my point. And he was like,
what I heard is
he was like,
I've had a vasectomy.
He said,
and
she kept saying it. It was a really, really good troll because he would say, look, all you crazy drama people.
Al, I unblocked you. I know you're watching. Didn't he come into your chat, Al? I think at one time.
And was like, I will tell you guys, if I end up being the father, I will take care of that child. Because he knew. That it wasn't his. So what is the deal
with Classic? Classic is a weirdo. I'm not going to double down on his predisposition.
He disappeared from the Beast channel because
He's back though.
Yeah, but she said he disappeared for a while because he was finding crazy. And he was
beyond all of that, he does not. He posts. He's a whole ass lie. Thank you, Presley.
She
can ride to hell in the Bronco. Yeah, with OJ. Remember, we were talking about that slow speed chase. I remember right where I was. If I told you, you'd be like, oh my God. I was on a little 16.
You told me where you were.
15-year-old date at 15.
It was 1994.
Yes.
And I was.
Yeah, a little 15-year-old date.
Yep. I was still in Germany. My oldest daughter was born wasn't it? Because my oldest daughter was born in September of that year.
Okay.
Meg was born in September. So I remember my good friend that just retired.
Yes.
we were sitting at work and we were watching it, and he was like, "Oh my God," and he's so my good friend just retired. He was a sergeant major at Fort Belvoir. That's why when we've had somebody else that were saying that he was at Fort Belvoir and this and that, I did a little check-in.
No, the fuck you weren't.
And
hold on a second.
they don't know. And see this guy. So I was sitting in Germany with this guy. Now this fella, I don't want to say it because people will get in touch with him, but this guy ended up being the top non-commissioned or enlisted person in all of the Quartermaster Corps. So if anyone knows how to Google that to find it, you'll figure out what this guy is, who this guy is. He was my very first active duty roommate in Germany, and that was in '92. And then we went to 2 different duty stations in Germany. So I got back from Germany in February of '94. So that low speed chase, Mandy was just a high school tot at the time.
I was with my first boyfriend.
She was with her first boyfriend, and I was in Germany.
And he can die too.
And the thing was, babe, is that they did I think the trial was like 96. Wasn't it 96 when he was acquitted? I think it was. Mm-hmm. I remember where I was for that too. I was outside the motor pool at Fort Stewart when they announced that. It was like, woof.
I'm Sawyer. Hold on.
So I'm leaving the post office. Mandy's feeding the dog because the dog's being a jerk.
But you're not leaving the post office right now.
I'm not leaving it today.
He gets so nervous when he's by himself. I'm coming back.
I know. I'm like Ricky trying to carry.
It's cute. I think it's cute.
But I want to. I met a lot of people, and there's a lot of stories that I'll take away. From, and one of them that I will miss it. I will miss their faces for sure. And I've told some of them that. The ones that have asked me. It's just kind of like my health. Being with Mandy and my health. I'm 55 years old. Since I've been there, my back is a wreck. I need to get a shot. It's been hurting me.
Has it?
My foot, I broke. It's like I can't do the same stuff every day and just run around. It's kept me in shape. Anyway, there's this guy that used to come in, and he was head to toe tattoo, prison life. You could tell. The tattoos and pretty scary dude. And he came in like a 57 Chevy, right? And it was beat up and needed to be restored, but he would drive it around. It had the engine in it. And so finally one day I asked him, I was like, what's your story and all that? And he told me, he was like 46 years old, 45 or 46. And he had been in and out of the prison system until he was about 32 or 33 years old so for 15 years or whatever. And, he taught me a lot. He said, what I had to know, what I had to learn. Somebody finally sat me down when I was about 30, when I got out the last time. And they said, if you keep going to prison, you have to understand the rest of society thinks you're a piece of shit. And I was like, well, I didn't say that. And he's like, no. He said, I could go in and out of prison over and over again in the code that I learned and, how the prison life. He said, there's a whole community that accepts it, but society doesn't give a shit. No. You know why? Because we don't go to prison. Right. We don't care if you're all dressed up, tattooed, and this and that. We're not scared of you, this and that. And this guy was like, once I learned that I needed to find something that I was good at, and I was a good mechanic, and I needed to strike out on my own, and I needed to make my own reputation because I don't have the same chances that everybody else has because I kept going to jail all the time and I kept going to prison. And for the longest time, people would see me coming, and they still do. They see what I look like, and they go, oh, I don't want to, it's not like, oh, I'm scared of this guy, like he's going to beat me up. It was like, oh, there's a piece of shit coming my way and a loser, and he can't fit in society, so we're just going to give him what he wants, which is to take a wide berth around him. And this is just one of the people that I met. And he said, once I understood if I wanted to be in society, I had to act right. And the reason why I'm telling you all this is that this guy didn't need to tell me any of this, but this is just some of the people that I've met and sort of have, not like friendships, like I'm not going to go drinking beer with a dude, but that when you see them every week because they come in like mailing car parts and this and that, you ask. Yeah. You have more when you have a job that puts you out in front
in town, you have opportunities to have these little 3-minute friendships that you wouldn't normally have. Like this guy, I would just go, wow, look at that dude. And he.
But actually, you wouldn't. You don't judge people.
Well, I would have never asked him. I would have never asked him.
But
if
no,
you're
but
right.
yeah, but you're like when he said people will give him a wide because of the way they look, and it's like
He'd be like, I used to think that by carrying myself and letting everybody know that I've been in and out of prison, that I was that was my identity, and that I was some kind of respectable person, until I learned that it wasn't the case.
right.
It really wasn't the case. And until I knew that I had to prove myself over and over in society more than the average person because of what I've looked and what I've done. Once I learned that, I started to be able to live in society without having to go back and forth in prison. And that is just a situation. The Army had people like that, but I just never would have crossed that path. And he taught me a valuable lesson. It's that number one, you can never judge a book by the cover. And you can learn something from everybody you meet.
You can learn
Every
something
single
from
person that
everybody.
you meet. I will miss that.
I believe that.
I will miss that.
Yeah.
I will. So anyway, did that make any sense?
It made a lot of sense.
Okay, cool.
You are gonna miss it, and they're gonna miss the hell out of you.
Yeah.
There's some things that he mentioned.
Hey, Irish Bev.
There's some things that we're really going to put our 100% effort in.
Right.
And what the avenue of how that's going to come out, of how we get it, is going to be up in the air. But we're certainly not going to let some assholes stop it from happening, like, if depending which route we take. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, if you know what I'm talking about. Like what we were talking about with Leticia's little one, that method or whatever.
Right.
Is, believe it or not, society doesn't think that we're douchebags or dangerous.
Us. Right.
Like foster to adopt. I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
That's, I'm going to flat out say it because it sounds so, none of you will know. It's either that or we're going to go the other direction.
Right. We know that there's
it's
going to be there's a certain amount, and people go, we don't care about. We know that the minute that we are pregnant, that they'll be ready to for whatever reason, like we've ever made someone else's. I've never called CPS on anybody.
Nobody. I haven't either. Hand to God, I've never on the life of.
And I know that.
Never.
And I know that
Never.
I've had them come to my house a few times. But
Good,
yeah.
Gigi. Irish, because I stuffed mine up in their shoe for years. Yeah, they're all talking
Yay.
about back issues. It is. You were saying it was hurting, or it's hurting again.
It's just in general. It's like, so when I was discussing it, it's like, this is what we expect out of you.
Right. Aubrey said you can even learn something from the beast. You can learn not to be.
That's
a good. That is
kind of a good point.
There's a few people in our community that hang their hat on their thuggish ways, and it's just not. There's no need to do that.
It's not.
But I want to show them this before.
Yeah, you can. But it's like when you look at these prison shows are so intriguing. When you look at like 60 Days In and all these, the lockup and all that stuff, because people look at that like these are a bunch of people in society. Orange is the New Black, that can't deal with society like a normal person.
Right.
And they took Orange is the New Black, and you knew all the backstories of all the characters. And a couple of them were framed or they got a way heavy charge than what they deserved. And so they tried to humanize people to make it seem like you or me could end up in that situation.
I wish that I had, when I was in 2012, when I went into rehab for alcohol, I wish I'd written down the stories I heard. I would go sit at the smoking table, even though I didn't smoke outside, because you could go all night as long as you were up for the next morning. I heard stories from postal people. I heard one from a dentist. I heard the stories that I heard. I should have written them down because they were kind of like the Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
People that didn't normally talk to anyone, but if you catch them while they're out there smoking a cigarette, you can get information.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ward 8 was the same way. When I went in for I'd been inpatient for PTSD. You guys know that. And some of the stuff that people did, if I had not had blackouts before, I wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't believe it. If I didn't have blackouts myself, and somebody with a really sick, demented, controlling type mind could take that and make my life difficult and make me for a while believe that I would not believe these stories that these other people have. Hallucinations, I never had those. I've blacked out, but I've never had flashbacks per se. I never had that. And I would never believe it unless I would have had my situation happen to me that landed me in that inpatient setting right next to somebody else. And what I learned is I'm no better than any of these people, and so there's that.
A lot of the work that he had done was before me. You already had a ton of tools when we met. You were in a shitty relationship, but you had taught me that you knew when you were getting stressed because of his finger tells what, that he would know it
the
was
tools
coming.
that I learned to mitigate blackouts, to mitigate episodes that post-traumatic stress brings on. I learned those tools, but I'll tell you this, there's a ton of guys in there that did fucked up shit that landed them in jail and a little bit of prison sometimes that because of it. And they looked at my situation and my relationship and they would not trade places with me at all. They would not trade places with me.
I'd rather be crazy.
Because of who I was with and what she was doing.
Aubrey said, my dad was in prison for 11 years, 2004 to 15. And oh man, did a lot change during that time. Technology alone was a lot. And it was really hard for him to adjust back to.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. And I should have prefaced before I went into that rant that I'm not judging anybody. This is just one person's
I bet you
story.
They know that beyond anything else. They know you.
And I appreciate that you sharing that.
Yeah.
Really.
Angel, I said she saw a girl lay on the floor pulling her hair out in rehab. That Clancy says a lot of people see me and don't even realize I have a drinking problem. It's just never who you expect it to be. That's why when you look at people and you think, you have a few people and you're like, okay, which one's addicted to heroin or fentanyl or whatever, and you look at them, most of the time you would never ever guess which one it is. You would never guess. And Angel Eyes, the girl that was pulling her hair out, do you know what she was detoxing off of? I'm just curious. I mean, I find that I just kind of add that to my bank of like knowledge when I know, but yeah, thanks that you did.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You can meet people like when you work with the public, and the mail is a little bit more personal than say like coming into 7-Eleven and throwing some gum and stuff up there. These is people's taxes right now is the big thing. These are people's lives, and people take mail for granted, and when it doesn't work right, they want to fix it. So a lot of times people would bring court documents and they said, I need to get these to Texas and it needs to be in 3 days. And, they feel inclined to tell you why, because they're putting that in your hands to try to figure out the best way.
We can't promise anything.
Yeah, I know. And we only have a couple really guaranteed things that are expensive. But people open up a lot.
Mama Ricky's son gets flashbacks.
Yeah.
You're going to miss the job.
I will, but I don't miss the job more than I miss you right now.
And no. When I was in Texas, I texted him and I was like, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time. He already had a part-time gig lined up that he just had to do, and he could do it from here. There's a few things that have happened in our families that have showed us how short life is.
Yeah.
And that living your life stressed to the max is taking away from. Now, some people have to.
Right.
Thank God we don't. We can live a certain type of way. We don't have to do it. I hope that made some sense. I don't mean to sound flippant. The other thing is, like, we were talking about people with tattoos and things, and the guy said they go around. That ended for me after I started going to AA. And because when you go to AA, NA, wherever it is a plethora of different people. Anybody and everybody.
It's all walks of
Lots
life.
of priests. I'll say there's lots of priests in AA. But that's when you learn that tattoos, anything, that piercings, none of that defines people. None of it. It's just our exterior.
Aubrey said I was 16 when he went when he went to prison. Definitely a
Wow.
sad time in children's life, and it sounds. I mean, I don't know. I can't.
Thank you, Gigi.
Yeah, because the 16 is a formative time.
Yeah.
You know, your brain is developing, your emotions,
And you probably don't want to tell your friends
or people judge because people judge.
Yeah.
But
it says the sad thing is there are a lot of older vets
Yeah.
out there suffering that don't know what is they're going through because PTSD was not even they don't know why they're suffering.
I will say this: what Iraq and Afghanistan. My father's a Vietnam veteran. He didn't go to VA until I went.
My dad
your
didn't
dad
either.
didn't either. Both of our parents, our fathers, are Vietnam veterans that saw things that went through stuff.
They didn't realize that some of their lifelong struggles with different things that is absolutely what it was.
I think that my experience in Iraq, and I'm only speaking for me. I can't speak for the next guy that in Iraq. I think that what I just personally, I know what it did to me, but I think that I would not know how to deal with it, and I probably wouldn't be here if I came home to a country that didn't want me.
Yeah.
And that's what our Vietnam veterans, it's. I can't even, there's one thing to say, oh, this is hardcore, this was worse than that. I can't imagine going through what I went through in Iraq and coming back
And had to hide it.
and have to hide it and to a country that was split down the middle and that was treating veterans like our Vietnam veterans got treated. I do not think I would be here. Or certainly but what we did, what the VAs tried to do, what the government was forced to do is because of the attention that they gave Iraq and Afghanistan vets, because it was a 12-year deal, they had to go back and try to put their arms around the Vietnam veterans that they didn't in the 70s when Vietnam ended. And
there was a long time that Vietnam vets couldn't go to VFWs because it was veterans of foreign wars, and they called it a conflict. Isn't that what it was? A conflict.
Yeah, but I just feel like
That's
that
changed.
was an accomplishment. And the VA still struggles. It's way undermanned. There's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of bullshit. But we have gone out and we have tried to pull in all the Vietnam. I mean, unfortunately, they're not World War II veterans around there anymore. Korea veterans. My dad is a Vietnam veteran, and he's in his 80s. Your father's in his mid 70s. So that's the good thing. But I always tell, especially when I see a Vietnam veteran, I tell them, I don't say, "Hey, what's up?" or "Thank you for," I tell them, "Welcome home."
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, they're like, that's what they need to hear.
Yeah.
Even 40 years later, 50 years later, that's what they need to hear. They need to hear "Welcome home." So that's how I greet them. A lot of stories at the post office from those guys too that come in.
Yeah.
I'm the veteran there. There's a couple other people that are veterans that at the post office I work at, and I have a kinship to them, but the other two are carriers that are on routes, so they're not out in the public like I am. So I'm kind of known as the veteran. So the veterans that like have VA stuff or whatever, they would kind of migrate towards my end of the office. So I met just a ton of them in Dawsonville. Wow. So that was
you should write
cool.
down some of the things that you've heard.
Yeah.
I would look. I think there's another one hatching. Are you ready to go?
Oh, we got bird. Did you show them the birdies?
No, you can't take them out of the incubator.
I can't, not yet.
No.
We have birdies hatching, guys.
It's too cold. But
we have birdies.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chicklets. Thank you, Presley. Thank you, everyone. Mods.
Thank you for the donations.
And the laughs. We always have a good time.
We do.
And as long as it's our channel, we'll talk about whatever we want.
We'll talk about what we want
We'll talk about exes. We'll talk about present. We'll talk about
chickens.
Mental health things. Oh, he passed me. Oh, I'm so sorry. That I was going to ask too. We've got so many people that are incarcerated that because of chemical addictions and
it was especially close to my daughter, and that's a lot. There's a lot to that.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes
it's a revolving door. like prison is like you can keep throwing them in for their addictions, but until someone takes the time to really connect with them and to have some sort of program or something, it's awful. It's no joke.
I had a much better relationship with my grandfather than my dad did, you know.
Yeah.
The things that my dad and my grandfather, you know, how that kind of ended up for them. I knew about it, but I didn't. My grandfather treated me very well.
Yeah.
And my dad not so much. My dad treats me well, but my grandfather and my dad didn't have a really good relationship. If that, you know, that's what I mean. But my grandfather and I did. So it's just kind of.
Can I? Yeah. No. I'm gonna tell you about a really cheap, easy recipe, and you can call it. It's called super rice. Most of you have already known it. You do cream of chicken soup when it starts, you know, boiling. After you mix half a can of milk, half a can of water, put it in the cream of chicken, right? And then you in the other bowl. You think I'm joking? I'm not. The white and dark meat canned chicken.
Excellent.
Yes, I started trying it because Sean likes canned chicken. He usually just gets the white meat, but I get the white and dark. You drain it and heat it for 1 minute or 2 minutes in the microwave. And then once it turns to rice, your super rice does, you put this in it and stir it up. And if you've got kids or, you know, you want a quick dinner, Sean said it sticks to your ribs. It's the best thing. Like, you will be full for a good while.
You will be able to
It'll give you energy. And it's cheap. Not as cheap as it used to be, but we love you guys. Have a good night.
We appreciate you guys. They're jealous of the fresh eggs. And yes, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that, Stitching. When they were going in on him for chicken in a can, I was like, hey.
He's like, I like chicken in a can.
I like chicken in a can too. And Mandy was like, you're so gross. But then it was like, then I said, don't knock it till you try it. And
it's good. So there you go. Cream of chicken soup. Rice, use milk and water to what do you call it, to constitute it or whatever.
Yep.
We're gonna go because he's gonna dig a hole.
Yeah. So I noticed that Savage is live. She's over there. So if you like Savage, you like that Shannon, and I don't know who's on panel.
They're doing Fuck It Up Friday.
They're doing that. So go over and check them out. I think some people did, and that's good. But she's live.
We love you.